Hi everyone, John Hand with the Pulsing Cinema, and today's movie of the day is the second movie in the Three Mothers trilogy, Inferno. Oh my God, you didn't think we were gonna get to this. I didn't know if I could. I thought after Suspiria that I was gonna be mysteriously murdered somehow. The door was gonna slam and decapitate me. I don't know. I don't know, because when you start talking about the Three Mothers, odd things happen, as Irene Miracle finds out in Inferno, where she lives in this accursed house in New York, which is where the second mother, Mother Tenebrarum, the mother of death, lives. But she's bathed in blue light day and night. There's swarms of rats. There's an area next door which has a submerged area, which is it's got buildings that are like half underwater, but the rent's cheap, it's New York. You gotta go with what you gotta. It seems like you're a young student. You may have to live in an accursed apartment building for a couple years until you trade up. I don't know. I've never tried to get an apartment in New York, but I've heard it's, the rent can kill you. That wasn't a good joke. But in any case, the film starts out with this young woman, as I said, played by Irene Miracle. We're now in New York. She is living in this weird apartment building. Right next door, there's this bookstore where she's found this book, The Three Mothers by Varelli, where this architect, who apparently built the houses that the Three Mothers live in, Varelli lays it all out. He was coerced into doing this. He didn't know how evil the Third Mothers are. But now it's come too late. But at least he was able to publish a book about it. He got a book out of it. And Irene Miracle's reading this book, and it's a very slow book, and the music by Keith Emerson in this film is really beautiful. It has the same visual flair as Suspiria, and the film right from the beginning feels like a continuation of Suspiria, and this idea of feeling there's feeling unease, of there's just something out of the fray, just outside of your consciousness, that's about to bite you on the ass. The paranoia of some kind of supernatural evil that's about to chase after you. You really feel that more so, I think, in Inferno than in Tenebrae. There's all these shots in Inferno of like people looking across at a building across from you, and there's somebody there, and oh my God, he's coming after you, but he's about to. Oh my God, he's gonna kill you. It's all of this paranoia of just things right out of the corner of your eye that are about to come up and kill you. So the lead character Irene Miracle, she kind of disappears. She kind of comes to a bad ending. Her brother is studying in Italy, and he gets a mysterious letter from her about the Three Mothers and all this stuff, and he almost has this kind of vague confrontation with the third mother in a music hall, in this very weird sequence where they're listening to music, and then the Anya Peroni, as the third mother, shows up, or at least something we're led to believe could be some kind of supernatural influence with a black cat appears. It may not be the third mother, but probably is, to be quite honest, because we're in Italy, and at the beginning of the film, the narration from the Varelli book lays out that we've got three mothers, one in Freiburg, one in New York, and one in Italy. And so Mark, after, first of all, there's something bad that happens to Mark's girlfriend. She gets the letter. And then she goes to this library, and she finds this Three Mothers book by Varelli, and she gets into her own confrontation with one of the henchmen of one of the mothers, which doesn't kind of make sense, because the idea it doesn't make sense for the third mother, because in the idea of in Inferno, magic is still influencing Italy. Like the third mother is around, and then her henchman, her alchemical henchman, is there in the library. And I love the fact that you can go into a library, a very old library, and look in a book, and then you go down one corner, and you go into a room you're not supposed to go into, and suddenly your life's in utter danger. I love that scene. Again, just amping up the paranoia, and it just that's what makes these Three Mothers films scary as hell. So she comes to a bad end because she gets the Varelli book, but I was going to say, it doesn't make sense because we've got the alchemical henchman, we've got the third mother showing up, but in the chronology of the third film, the third mother, the one made in the 2000s, the third mother is supposed to be dormant, and she's not really released until they do the excavation. And so I don't really quite understand that. It doesn't make a lot of sense. But in any case, Mark goes to New York. He stays in the apartment building, the apartment room where his sister was, and he gets into the hijinks where eventually he uncovers the mystery of Varelli and the mystery of Madre Tenebrarum. Some really great special effects, some visual effects which were worked out by Mario Bava, none other than the great Italian director Mario Bava. Some of the last thing he ever did as a filmmaker was some of the special effects in this film, which were some really standout stuff. There is some really, the underwater stuff and the fire. It's a very alchemical, the idea of these elemental things. Very, very, very quite cool. And Dario Nicolodi also shows up as someone, another unlucky inhabitant of this apartment building. Again, the rent is good. So in any case, Inferno is it feels like just an evolution of Suspiria, amping up the paranoia, amping up the everything. It's a little more of a film from the Mother of Death, so it's more in hushed blue tones. It's not as wild and as crazy as those primary red, green, and blue colors of Suspiria. It's a little more muted, but still very colorful, and you still get the idea of the whole magic world. Some people don't like Inferno. They think of it as a step back from Suspiria, and I mean, Keith Emerson's score is, again, not the kind of free-for-all pandemonium of Suspiria. It's again a little more subdued, but this film is more subdued, but it's still scary as hell. So there it is, my love letter to Inferno. I love it, and we're working toward the finale, the third mother. Again, Inferno is a good film, but let's see what's going on with the third mother on the next movie of the day.